साथिया ये तूने क्या किया, बेलिया ये तूने क्या किया, मैंने किया तेरा इंतजार, मैंने किया है तुझसे प्यार. And many songs like this. मैंने प्यार किया. Yes, we have grown up on his songs. And today we don't have SP Balasubramaniam among us. I think the COVID is taking a lot from us. And it's important we know that we have to go one day, but this year it is too much to bear. So I was singing all the songs of S.P. Balasubramaniam. I think with my generation, we lived on his song and we built up our romance on his song. And I think Salman Khan's, he suited Salman Khan the best. And singing the Maine Pyar Kiya songs like uh, na 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 na. So songs like that, and but mine is always Satya, ye tune kya kiya, Belia, ye tune kya kiya. So remembering S.P. Balasubramaniam, a great legend, a great artist today. Before I start the show, oops, I said it. And oops, I said it that he's no more with us. But oops, I said it that we have a very nice, energetic, and a woman with a lot of strength with us. And as you know, this time it has been the rainbow of dance. And today again, it's a different dance style and it is chow. So we have this wonderful wonder lady among us, and that's Carolina Prada. Hello, Carolina.
Hello, namaskar, Alaknanda ji. Thank you
Only
so much for
Alaknanda
having me here. Oh,
Only
okay.
It's
Okay.
great having you here, and I must say that today's show is especially for my sister Aparajita because she's a great fan of yours. I
Thank
first
you.
came to know about you from my sister. She was watching your performance at IIC and few years back, and she has been telling me, because of the festival spirit of dance and Devi, she said, "Please get Carolina Prada, please get Carolina Prada." So it has to happen, and I'm sure it's going to happen very soon. That you will be a part of Devi's festival and the spirit of dance. So I'm
I
really
would
looking
really
forward.
love to. Yeah, me too. I would really love to. Thank you so much.
Okay, Carolina, although I have heard about you, I've seen your pictures and I have told you how I have stalked you also.
I can't hear you, Alaknanda ji. Some network issue? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm live. I mean, it says that it's live. I don't know if it's still, I don't know how it's still broadcasting, but it says it's live. Okay, sure. All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so Alaknanda ji was asking me how India happened for me, how I came, and well, yeah, it's a long story, of course. I So I started training in different Eastern disciplines, some martial arts, and a little bit of Bollywood dance around the year 2000, maybe, in a school in my hometown, Medellin, Colombia, um, called Escuela Los Cinco Elementos. Basically, it translates the five elements school. So this is directed by a very special person. His name is Omar Granados, and he traveled here to India uh, to study and to discover many things about these very rich traditions. He was very much interested in massage and therapies and yoga and different martial arts. And so he he also brought with himself like lots of information about dance and like classical dances or classical practices, you could say. So when I came into that school, I started learning about all of this and the traditions of India and the mythology and the spirituality also. And I was absolutely drawn to it. I was really, really touched. And when at that time, I mean, there was nobody really who would teach any classical dance in Colombia. But there was somebody who was teaching like Bollywood, and so I started out with that, and then through that we got to know about a teacher who was in Mexico, and we brought her from Mexico to take a workshop there in Colombia, and it was Odissi dance. And so the first time that I saw her dance on the stage, I was very sure that I wanted to learn this dance because I just felt it was something very devotional, and of course it was just beautiful. And so with her I started learning Odissi. It was a workshop, very short workshop, but I started out like that, and then I continued a little bit of self study, and then I traveled to Mexico to again visit her, and then I brought her to Colombia again. So it was like 4 years of that, coming and going, like keeping a little bit uh, advancing very, very slowly, of course, but still, I mean, some Odissi basics were there. And um and then after some time she told me, you have to look for scholarships to go to India. And I said, scholarships? How? I mean, at that time, and we're talking about, yeah, talking about maybe 2000, 2002, something like that. Um, there was like, okay, the combination scholarship, India and Colombia, it was like very rare. It was very rare. But anyway, I started searching on the internet. At that time, it was the time when the internet still, you couldn't use the phone and the internet at the same time. It was that time when the internet was like doing that noise. And so, but anyway, I did my searching and my things until suddenly, I think like maybe after 6 months or something, I got an email from the embassy, Indian embassy, and in my country, and they said they mentioned a list of scholarships, and like so many pages of a form that I needed to complete for this scholarship. So I just did that, and I sent a package this big, full of papers and everything that was required um, to apply for this ICCR scholarship. And okay, I just sent it, and then nothing. Then suddenly, another 6 months later, I got a call from the embassy, and they told me this was June 15th. Okay, I remember it very clearly. June 15th, 2008. Okay, and I got a call, and they're like, "Okay, Miss Prada, yes, you have been awarded the ICCR scholarship. You must be in New Delhi by July 1st."
Oh,
So this was 15 days. So I have 15 days to pack up my life, basically, and that's what I did.
so when
Um,
you were in Colombia, what did you know about India? Because India is very different. So what is that thing that you had a picture in mind that okay, I'm going to India, so this is going to be the snake charmers country. So what was that thing, or the elephants going by? So what did you read about India, and what made you sure that okay, let me try India? And Bima Kapoor ji says Namaste Alaknanda, and Carolina Sonali Das
yeah.
ji is there, and yes,
Um,
Viva Kapoor says yes for scholarship. I remember 2008 not giving enough time. Yes,
right, right,
so
right.
uh, thank you, Vivaji, for joining us. And tell me about the so concept which goes about India as the snake charmers country. So tell me about
Oh,
it.
oh my God, really, really. I mean, you could say it was like that. I mean, one of the things that I mostly had in mind was like the spiritual kind of thing, like I just had a feeling that everybody would go around like, oh, namaste, and, everybody meditating and everybody like in their own bubble kind of thing. Yeah, and then and then another thing that I would imagine, because I had seen so many Bollywood movies like Lagan and Kuch Kuch Hota Hai and all these things. I would imagine, people going on the street and like dancing like that. So yeah,
So like around the trees, and you thought that around in the parks you would definitely get those scenes. Ah,
exactly, exactly.
so it was a
I could.
yeah, it was a cultural shock when you came here.
It was a bit of a cultural shock. It was. There was a, yeah. I do have to say that. Oh, okay. And there's a nice story upon my arrival. Like that day
Huh.
when I reached. I mean, although I probably, okay, this is a big oops. I think this is a.
Yes, in Oops I Said It, you have to tell everything about Oops in your life.
uh, yeah. Okay. So I was scheduled to reach, I think, by 1 in the morning. And so, okay, of course, it's a very long trip from Colombia to here. It's like I had to change flights thrice, and then my last flight was like from London till here, 9 hours. Uh, and so while I was on that flight, I mean, you see people, and so then when we landed and we were in immigration and all that, I just saw one girl, and she looked quite, like quite decent, nice looking girl, and I just kind of went to her and I said, "Oh, is somebody picking you up?" And she's like, "Oh yes, somebody's picking me up, but if no, then I know a place to go, and I've already been to India." And I was like, "Oh, okay," because they're supposed to pick me up, but I'm in case
Yeah,
anything happens. In case anything happens, can I
I should
come with
have an
you?
alibi. Yeah.
Yeah. And so she said, "Yeah, yeah, sure, you can come with me." And so, of course, I mean, we just went outside where this guy from ICCR was supposed to meet me, with a sign and like Carolina, blah blah. I was looking. No, Carolina, no, Carolina, no, Carolina. Like, oh my God. Okay. So, so then I mean, at least there was this girl. So I said, can I come with you? And she's like, yes, yes, come, let's go. So I went with her and we stayed in a hotel in Paharganj, like my first night in India. This was my first night in India. And then only the next
And
day, finally,
Paharganj has a rotten reputation.
I
It's like
know.
one of the reputation. One will be like, oh my god. Oh my
Right,
goodness. I don't
right.
understand sometimes why all the foreigners sometimes know more about Paharagans instead of, Connaught Place.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I get, of course, I mean, of course, there you can, there are cheap hotels and everything like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, so this was my welcome into India. I mean, they didn't pick me up. Um, but anyway, next day, finally, I got in touch with the people from the place and with my hostel and everything. And now they came and picked me up, and so I went to my hostel, which was in Sri Ram Bhartiya Kala Kendra, because I my
Right,
scholarship was there, and
right.
uh, and then I
But
was
thanks to that girl. Thanks to that girl. Who's that girl? Do you remember her name?
I have no idea. I don't remember her name. We didn't even exchange phone numbers. Nothing. Like
Oh,
she was like a small angel, like a
Angel.
little angel.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if she's somewhere around, and by chance, if she's catching this interview, I would say thank you, Angel from Carolina and Alaknanda, for putting her safe and bringing her to India safely and being with her. That's
Really,
amazing. There are really some good people in life who really make it worthwhile. So,
really.
who is your first guru in India? From whom did you
Yes.
learn? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So as I since I came for an Odissi scholarship, I started learning from Priyambada Patnaik. Uh, and it was, yeah, it was very special because at that time, well, I was like my first year, I was the only foreigner there at in the Odissi class in SBKK. And and then Priyambada ji, she was like, she just opened up and she just gave me as much as I could take. Like that first year, I think it was the time where I most learned. I mean, especially Odissi, and she was like giving, and yeah. So I had lots of attention to myself because in the last batch, uh, there was basically me and some maybe two other girls. So I could just, yeah, I tried to absorb as much as I could. Uh, at the same time, I mean, because the courses started in July, no.
right.
So as soon as I started my Odissi course, I also enrolled in Mayurbanj Chau with Guru Janmejai Sai Babu.
So he
And
was also there in Shriram Bharti Kala Kendra.
yes, at that
Wow,
time he was also
wow.
there in Sri Ram Bhartiya Kala Kendra. And it was a huge blessing because so I had come to know about Chow also because of my first teacher, the one who started teaching me Odissi from Mexico, right?
All right.
So she had given me a video where there were different dance forms from Odisha, and in one of those dance forms there was my urban Chow. And when I saw it, I just became like, wow, I have to do this because I've always loved martial arts. That that has been my passion between dance and martial arts. And so when I came to SBKK and I got to know that there was Cho dance, I was just, like I'm in heaven. So I enrolled immediately and I started. But my main focus the first year was Odissi.
But tell me, Carolina, because you've learned. Hello, Gary Divakar. She says hello, hello to both of you. Hello, Gary. So, you are coming from Colombo and the teacher out there, and then the gurus out here. Okay. So, I will not call them teachers out here, they're gurus out here. The attitude is absolutely different. So, coming from that place and coming to India and then getting into Shriram Bhartiya Kala Kendra and then having two gurus and the Indian attitude. So, what is that? Sometimes gurus are like very much giving, but yes, they have their own kind of attitude and own sensibility. They're sometimes very sensitive also, and sometimes even I would say even I am sometimes very cranky also. So did you feel that change? Because you are, I feel your spirit is Indian, but it's a different environment for you. So what is that difference that you felt? Okay, coming here, okay, I have to adjust, or I need to learn of these things so that I could survive here.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, my my teacher, my yeah, I'll call him my mentor. My mentor over there, because he had also been trained for many years, even in a with an Eastern kind of focus, because he's basically a martial arts master.
Okay.
So in martial arts you follow like a very strict code, and like a,
Regime, yeah.
yeah, like a way which is very very centralized and focused, and so his way of teaching actually prepared me for being here and for the attitude that I needed to have towards my gurus. Like he actually taught me what it was to have a guru. Like that it's not just somebody, because yes, it's true that teachers in the West, people take them as like, okay, you have to give me, you are my teacher, so you have to give me. But in here in India, and what I understand the meaning of guru also requires is that you as a student, you as a disciple, you actually have to give yourself. Not that
Surrender.
they have to give you. Yeah, you have to, just be available to them.
Yes.
And so when I came, so he prepared me for that a lot. And when I when I came, I like my mind was ready for that. Um, so in that sense, I did not have much of a problem. Um, um, yeah, no, I think in that sense I was pretty much clear that I came to study, and that I came just to dedicate myself to this, and also to the guru, to my guru.
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And what about the food? Because again, you're coming from the other place, and the food out here is very, very spicy. So the guru once surrendered, and how did you manage the food? Because a lot of things,
Yeah.
because I have friends who come in from Europe, and whatever little spice that I put, I need to make it more or less spicy, you
Mm,
know.
mm,
So how was it to manage? One side you're managing your gurus, because yes, the gurus in India are very demanding and you need to
yeah.
surrender. And over there you have a complete change of your regime. It's a hot country, and then the food is hotter and
Mm,
spicier, and
mm,
then the attitude is more, crazier,
yeah, yeah,
you know
yeah.
so, and people break their rules out here. So to survive, and I don't know, it's a way of our life. I think we break rules and we enjoy life. So how did you manage the food as well? And we have Vaishnavi Joshi saying so well described, and Ini Singh says hello to both of
Oh,
you.
hello,
Hello,
Indy.
Ini, and Minoti Sikdar is there, and Tamanna had said, what? Wow, you made so many big decisions in life fully around dance. Incredible, Carolina G. So that's amazing. So, how did the food welcome you, Carolina?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm also a bit lucky that I come from Colombia, and so Colombia is a third world country. So I guess you can say that we've all our lives we've also developed some kind of immunity kind of thing, and
Right,
our
right.
our our stomachs are also a little bit stronger than, like those of people in America, or even people in Europe. Uh, we deal with quite a good amount of bacteria and all that. So,
Uh,
so when I came, I didn't have that much of a problem with the spice. But I did used to like, so I would have breakfast and lunch in the canteen.
okay.
Uh, but my dinner, I would do it separately. I would
Okay.
usually eat something very light, because for me it was like they used to serve dinner like around 9, even sometimes 9:30, and for me that was like killer. Like I can't eat so late. And so I didn't take dinner from the mess. And I would just take like something lighter, like some cereal or fruits or a salad or whatever. I would just make, so that would kind of balance, because I know what it's like when you have 3 Indian meals a day. And of course, that does make some effect. That has an impact.
Yes,
But
definitely. Early morning impacts are very bad.
yeah. And but no, but something that used to happen, and that I had to learn how to control, was like, so I would have my food, I don't know, maybe 1:30, sometimes 2 o'clock, and then I would start my Odissi practice around 3. So
Okay.
one so 1 hour, to digest, it's not that much, and especially because the food being so spicy. So I remember starting when I would start doing choka number one. I would just feel start choka number one, then everything would get good, 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 coming up, coming down, coming up, coming down, and so I just I would have, like I started eating lots of dahi and misri and all these things, all these small tricks that
Yes.
that you need to do, because otherwise all this, and so much heat inside. So but I learned to cope
You
with it. I learned to
you
do it.
managed well now because it's been almost 12 years you're here. 12
Yeah, yeah,
years.
yes.
So it's quite a bit. And the way you have been dancing and the way you have owned up India, the way you have owned up India, the way you have owned up the dance style, it's amazing. Somewhere I feel, do you think you have an Indian spirit inside?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think if I didn't, I wouldn't have been able to stay here so long. And I don't know, like there's something, especially with Cho music, there's something about that music, there's something about that movement which I don't know, I feel like it really resonates with something inside. And yeah, so I mean, I guess yes, I can say something is there from maybe another life, or I don't know, something that I
Yeah.
can't explain. Yeah.
Like I feel a little Polish inside because Poland is my second home. So I can say dziękuję, thank you, and little sentences, and so I feel very Polish sometimes inside. So it's always nice to have a little bit of everything inside you, and you can live a more colorful or the rainbow of life. And I see behind you Lord Shiva,
Oh
right?
yeah. Yes.
So, and this is like, it seems you take a lot of energy and power from Lord
Mhm.
Shiva. So, tell me the existence of Lord Shiva in your life as a physical being, as an emotional being, and as spirituality, because Indian art style is a lot to do with spirituality. So, how does Lord Shiva? Because I haven't seen. I don't. This is the 50th episode almost, and you are my 50th guest. I haven't seen many people having, god, goddesses, or somebody almighty behind and by this side. But I see in your this thing, not being an Indian, still having an Indian spirit and having Lord Shiva behind you. So tell me your connection with Lord Shiva, Carolina.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess I've always, this comes a little bit with my nature. I've kind of always been believing in something higher, no. However, I mean, coming coming from a Christian country,
Yes.
uh, my family was actually not very religious, so I did not grow up with the Christian customs or rituals. I mean, I actually, in my family, we never used to go to church. Like it's a custom to go to church every Sunday. We never used to do that. Like religion was very, I mean, Christian religion was very, very seldom in my life. It didn't, it came like once or twice, like, first communion and all these things. But we did it just because, everybody does it. But my family was not really oriented towards that in that time. Um, but somehow I was, kind of wanting to believe in that something, that God. And when I started to know about India, and when I started to see, like, oh my God, there are so many gods, goddesses, and everything, I was very interested in the stories. So I started reading. Then with Odissi, it became like something which was a kind of a quest. Okay, like, okay, so this god is this, and what is the energy, and what does it bring, and how can I relate to that? And I actually prayed for many years to Lord Jagannath to bring me to India.
Oh,
So
wow.
so you can say that in the begin, my first connection was with Jagannath ji. Um, but when I started getting more and more serious with Chow dance, uh, one of the very first things that Guruji told me was that if you're not a devotee, you cannot do this dance. This
Wow.
dance, this dance is for devotees,
Devotion.
and especially devotees of Lord Shiva. So, I mean, at that time, I didn't know like about puja. I didn't know very, very less about many things. And so he told me, you should, every Monday you should go to the temple and do some abhisheka on the Shivalinga, and this will help you with your practice. This will be a part of
Wow.
your practice.
Wow.
So I started out like that, and then and then basically one of the first characters that Guruji started teaching me, because in Chow dance, the guru, I mean, in like in the traditional way, in the olden way also, the guru would see the student, and they would see according to the qualities and according to the characteristics, what character would be suiting to this student. And so Guruji, one of the first characters that he taught me was Natraj. And so that basically that stuck with me. And then it became like a necessity. I mean, it became like, if I'm doing this dance, then I need to know more about this energy, and I need to connect more with this energy, and I need to try to understand, because it's not just a picture. It's not just like it's not just a murti, or not something made
Okay.
of stone. It's
Stone,
it's some,
yes.
it's something which is real, which moves you. And
Yes.
so that was basically the beginning of that quest, which is definitely never ending. It's never ending, because it's basically a path of discovering yourself and understanding what life is about, I guess. I mean, it's
Wow. Amazing, Carolina. And Soumya Shukla is saying it's amazing how artists adapt themselves to different cultures. It's an impact of their respect for art and the understanding that takes efforts to conserve cultures. Namaskar, Didi and Carolina. And
Okay.
Tamanna says it's a huge compliment. Wow. It's amazing, Carolina, speaking to you because where you have found your connection of spirituality and devotion and bhakti in the classical art dance form. It is sometimes very, very surprising that people in India still take it as an entertainment only, whereas, or just a hobby or just a time pass to learn a classical dance. And few only can relate to the dance style or the art form as a spiritual thing or as a meditation or the bhakti
Right.
rasa. It is amazing, Carolina, that you have acquired, and you're blessed. I believe you are blessed that you got that sense quite soon in your life, because that is also a blessing that God gives you that kind, or God, you may say, Almighty, you may say, or the supreme power or the energy has given you that realization that it is devotion and bhakti, and you need to be a devotee to be an artist. Amazing, Carolina. Tell me that when you now go back to your country, so what do you take back from India and how are you spreading it over there? There's always something artist takes from the country and from the art and the culture and also spreads it through different parts. So how do you take it back to your country now, and how things are changing in your country because you are dancing?
Well, yeah, that's very that's a very beautiful part of the path, you can say. Um, so yes, I mean, I take all of this that with me, everything that I've experienced throughout the year, because usually I go in June, July, like in the summertime, and I it depends, it changes from year to year, but usually I go for around 1 month, 2 months, something like that. Longest I've stayed has been 3 months, and then of course then the itch, the itch starts. uh, you have to come back, you have to come back, so I but yes, but I feel very happy and very blessed that I have a group, very nice group of students over there, and we have a group which is called, it's a company basically. It's called Odyssey Yatra, like the journey throughout Odyssey, and it's basically I can't remember exactly how many we are, but around 16 girls who have been learning Odissi with me. Some of them, I think the oldest one, who is a male, for 7, 8 years maybe, and then the
Wow.
others 5, 6. um, and yeah, I mean, I feel very, very proud of them, and I I've seen them grow from year after year, and also their commitment, because I mean, I'm not there, so all year round they have to sustain themselves and keep the practice and all, and then when I come June, July, or things like that, then we have workshops, like intensive workshops. We do performances. We do lecture demonstrations. I mean, actually, when I go to Colombia, my family, they get a little bit upset, because they're like, "You come here, but you don't see us. You don't stay with us so much. You're just here, there, working." So, but I don't know. It's part of me. It's part of my passion. Uh, yeah. Um, so that, and of course, I mean, uh, uh, oh, okay. I can keep talking. Um, yeah. So that has been great. To have people there who have opened up, uh, to receiving all of this, that we absorb, and we make it be part of ourselves, so that then we can share it and transmit it in the best way that we can. Of course, the like a big part in the teaching process is basically realizing that you need to keep learning, and you need to keep making yourself better so that you can teach also in a better way. Okay. um, yeah. Regarding Chow, it it has opened up a little bit more slow. I mean, the classical scene in Colombia has been developing slowly. Like when I started out, not so many people were there. I mean, the first time I came back, not so many people were there. But then year after year, we can see that more people are interested in classical dance. More people are getting to know that, there's a difference between Bollywood and this. There's a difference between belly dance and Indian
Yes,
classical dance.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
you are doing a great work, Carolina, to spread the Indian culture in your country and worldwide. But again, being an artist is not so easy, right?
Right.
Okay, so sometimes the performers don't get paid. Sometimes the organizers are difficult. And here, this is my sister Carolina. And I told her this program is for my sister, one of my favorite artists, two powerhouses together, Aprajita. I told her before the show and also in the show that this show is for you, and how you have been such a big fan of her dance, and how you have been recommending Carolina to me. and I'm
Thank you so much.
and I'm sure
Aparajita, thank you so much.
yeah, she has been your stalker at a next level. So she loves your dance. I am sure I have seen your videos, but I really want you to perform for my festival as soon as possible. This year we missed, but next year, fan from day one. She goes with two hearts to you,
She's
and
very sweet.
so I'm sure it is her dream also that you perform in our festival, Spirit of Dance Devi. So we'll do it very soon. As I was telling, that it is not so easy to survive as an artist because the finance is a very big problem. So, how do you think the finance has affected you? Um, are you paid properly, or do you think again you have to go through the same struggle as any other artist to keep yourself financially easy and viable?
Yeah. Yeah, that's, I mean, actually, I'm quite happy that these kind of topics come out, because very rarely we get to, talk about it openly. um so okay, so in the beginning I came with a scholarship, so my first 3 years were with a scholarship. So I can guess my basic kind of needs were covered, right? And then I had some savings, and then some little bit, maybe my father would give me something or whatever, small, that was like the student period, you can say. Then after that, when my scholarship got over, and then just living on my own, and so that is when the struggling period starts. I have to say that in the beginning, I did get a lot of help from people like, okay, like for example, Rajesh and Rakesh Sai Babu, who they were the ones who kind of started inviting me to perform in places. um, and we used to do, I mean, different kinds of shows. I can't say that they were traditional shows, but anyway, throughout, like through them, I kind of got to know, like, oh, okay, there's this kind of scenario. Okay, you can do these kind of things. And then I worked for some time. I mean, I collaborated a little bit with Santosh Nair from Sadhya. And so, like, my kind of my vision of how the dance field works started kind of opening. I mean, I started getting to know actually what different things were.
Things are going around, yeah.
Yeah. But then, of course, I mean, it was uh, there were difficult times because I mean, I depended on, okay, having or not having a show, and that is very stressful. That is basically very, very stressful. And then sometimes I would be faced with a kind of dilemma, like to do a show or to do some kind of commercial show or event show, or not to do it. And so then it got to a point where I just said, like, no, I don't want anything to do with commercial shows. I don't want anything to do with event shows kind of way. And because of this, I need to get a job.
Okay.
Yeah. So I decided that, I was not going to compromise with what I was learning, with what I wanted to represent. And so I said, no, I can't live off of shows just like that. I need to get a stable job. And so then I started applying for schools, and I started teaching dance in two schools. First, there was Lotus Valley, and then there was Cambridge School.
He says, I
And
remember shooting one of my most favorite pictures of Chow of Carolina. Yes.
yeah, he's shot like some amazing clicks he's taken.
He
Yeah,
does an amazing job, anyways. I
yeah,
think
yeah. Anyways,
he is
he
dancer's
just
favorite.
captures it. Yeah.
Yes, he's dancer's favorite. I remember shooting my favorite pictures of Chow, and here he writes, okay, I remember shooting my favorite picture. That was hers. Okay. Amazing, Annie. I need to see those pictures. So it was Cambridge. Which Cambridge? Delhi, Cambridge? You were
It
teaching?
was Srinivas Puri. Srinivas Puri.
Yes, Srinivaspur. That's the oldest one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
But don't you think teaching in school has a little negative for this thing?
downside.
Because then you have to teach everything from folk to Independence Day to Tokyo dance and to, some
Right,
things. So it becomes a little
right.
heady for a classical dancer to.
Very much. Yeah. Yes, yes. And so that's why, okay, so after teaching there for some time, especially in Lotus Valley, like if in the beginning, it was great because, of course, I had this chance and then like a stable kind of thing. But of course, when they started telling me that they needed me to be a more permanent teacher, I just said, like, I can't, and then Cambridge was great because they told me, you can teach Mayurband show especially, and they gave me very flexible hours, and like everything, I actually liked it a lot there in Cambridge. But then another chance came along to teach Spanish, which is my native tongue.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah, and I, like, in college I studied translation, so I've also been into, I mean, I have experience with languages and teaching languages. And so
Right.
there came an opportunity to teach in this place which is called Cervantes Institute. And I took that chance because it was, of course, a better paid job and a more. It was basically less hours for better salary.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's. I mean, I still do it. I still teach Spanish, and I think. I mean, I don't want to keep balancing both the things, dance and the job, all my life. Uh, but I honestly say that sometimes shows are not enough. I mean, if I would live off of
Yes.
shows only, it's not enough.
Yes.
It's just not enough. I can't live properly as a, like, decently, or even think about going to my country. Not like I couldn't even think about that, aspiring to do that, if I didn't have like that balance. It's very hard.
Absolutely, absolutely, Karuna. It is very difficult to survive on shows because you don't know you are getting them or not getting them, and how well paid they are, or they are underpaid, or you're getting money after a certain period of time. So it's very difficult. So it's a much better solution to have a job of your choice and to continue with your passion as an artist. So I think you have done the smartest thing. Ah, you have a smart lady out here. Amazing. You just talked about Rajesh and Rakesh Sai Babu. I have worked with both of them, but I worked more with Rajesh Sai Babu. So tell me how how is it to dance with these two heroes of Chow, and and they are, in fact, they are doing a very good work in spreading the work of their father, of the guru, and but how was it to work with these two dynamic dancers?
Well, we've had our on and offs, but in the beginning, like you can say from maybe 2000, from 2009 until I don't know 2000, maybe 11, 12, we were very close, and it was lots of fun. Like it was dancing with them was super fun. We would just enjoy and laugh, and when we would come together on stage, we would just enjoy. There was so much energy. And recently, I think 2019, we went to Khajuraho together. We performed in
Okay.
Khajuraho together. And so again, it was a little bit of a little, like a glimpse, a little flashback, and remembering that energy. Like whenever we needed more energy, one of us would shout like, "Hey!" So like, to give each other support. And then yeah, it was fun. I That's what I mostly remember, like just enjoying and trying to give each other energy.
Yes, it is
Yeah.
very nice to collaborate with other dancers because there's so much that you learn from each other and so much energy that you give. Like Rajesh calls me Didi, but whenever before we go to the stage, he's like, Didi, let's have fun. So that kind of energy to give, and we are doing ras, we are doing complete maharas, and to look at each other and then dance as a partner. And as we go off the stage, we're like, "Ha, Rajesh, sahi ho gaya," and you're like, "Ha, Didi, sahi ho gaya." So that kind of fun to have with a co-artist is amazing. And I have
Yeah.
this particular chemistry with Rajesh Sai Babu. And usually he becomes the evil one in other production, but in my production, he becomes the Krishna. So it is fun. It is fun.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it's amazing to dance, and obviously Rakesh is doing so much of work. Both the brothers are doing so much work. So this kind of energies are. Have you collaborated with other dance styles also, like Kathak, Bharatanatyam, or Kuchipudi?
Yes, in also in 2012, I think, or 14, maybe 14. Yeah, we did a small production for Khajuraho
Right,
with it was called Trimurti, and it was with Odissi and Kuchipudi.
right.
Um, yeah, and well, recently I've been collaborating a bit with Kalari Payattu,
Okay,
with a center from it's there's a branch in Pondicherry, but the original branch is in Calicut. It's called Hindustan Kalari Sangam, and I mean the branch where I go in Pondi is called Kalari Gram, and they have very much opened up, their doors for Mayurbhanj show there.
wow.
And we have a very interesting production, which I hope we can bring to the Delhi stage next year,
Next
which
year.
has a collaboration between Mayurbhanj Chau and Kalari.
Calorie Patu. And
Yeah.
over here, Prajita is wishing some combination with your dance with Kathak with me. Want to see Carolina and you together on stage, lighting fire with your performances. Hope one day it happens. Yes, dreams do come true,
Hopefully.
Prajita. I'm sure we are just walking the path, and this thing will happen. Jai Shri Guru, definitely. Um, that's very sweet of her. And Tamanna Tikku says, could you talk about Odyssey and Chow mean to you differences, similarities, and how you interpret each? Yes, because Odyssey is a very lavanya, a very subtle, and where in Chow I see a lot of strength and power. So that's how I see as an artist. How do you take it?
Yeah, definitely. For me, they're like brothers, like brother art forms or sister art forms, basically. I mean, they're siblings. Um, Starting from the posture, like in Odissi, you have the Tribhangi. Then in Cho, you
Can
have
you
the
show?
Dharam.
Can you show a little? Can you
Yeah,
show a
sure.
little?
Okay, let's see how much
Amazing!
you can see.
Yay! Carolina is dancing! Wow! Amazing!
Okay, so I don't know how much it'll be visible. So
Yes.
this is Odissi
Okay.
and this is Cho.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so and Cho would be like this and Odissi,
Wow.
but
Amazing.
then the
We can't hear you. Take off the. We can't hear you, but you can explain. Yes. We have to get you on the stage soon, Carolina. Now I'm becoming greedy. Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
okay, yeah. Now you
Okay.
can
Yeah.
hear me, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So the first posture that I showed was in Odissi. Okay, so this was the
Yeah.
Tribhangi. Then in the Dharan, which is the leg is further out, that is for Cho. And then the Chauka posture, it's common for both of them.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's a common posture. So I mean, Cho has helped me bring more strength into Odissi, and the torso movements in Odissi have helped me with the torso movements in Cho. Of course, the torso in Cho moves a lot more freely and more, more dimensions. In Odissi, it's much more controlled. Um, but they have helped me.
Okay.
However, yeah, but however, some there are times where I get too much into Cho. Like because yeah, I get too much into Cho, and so like to really come back properly to the Odissi form, then it kind of takes me a few days of intensive training to fix it and just straighten it out, because somehow
Align
my
it.
somehow my body is kind of course more prone to go into the Cho style.
Right.
um yeah, and but in Odissi you have to control a lot, like the how the torso moves and how the head moves, everything has to be very neat and clean,
Yeah.
which is not there in Cho. I mean, we in Cho we can just kind of let go more. And
Okay.
yeah, so that is something that as a dancer if I want to represent both the styles, I have to be very careful, because I can't
Yeah,
be doing, I can't be doing Odissi like Chow. The
and
opposite,
yeah,
the opposite doesn't happen anymore, because I'm, in Chow I just kind of fully let go. But yeah, for Odissi, I need to, really come into the form.
um, it is difficult to maintain two styles, and now you are
Yeah,
doing Kalaripattu also. So that is the third style that you have taken up. So
uh,
how do you manage? Like for us, we always feel one dance style is enough for one lifetime.
for
But
sure.
yeah, but you are managing up Odyssey, Chow, and now Kalaripattu. So how do you think your body? Because every time a body is an instrument, right? And every instrument, every dance style has a different tuning for the body. So where Odissi is all rasa and lavanya, and again Chow comes to be a martial art strength. Again, Kalaripattu is a different body language is needed. So how do you manage up to relate to all of them, and how does your body react to the dance style? What are the repercussions to your body after you're doing all the three?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, first of all, I can't say that I'm doing Kalaripayat. I mean, I'm learning. I'm learning Kalaripayat, and I don't aspire to be like a Kalaripayat professional. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's not my ambition, and it's not like my main focus, because if they tell me, okay, what are you? I will say I'm a chow dancer.
Okay,
So but yeah,
that is
because that
clear.
that that is clear, that for me, that is basic, that is absolutely clear, and that is my main focus, and that is what I practice most. From the three styles, that is what I put my most dedication into. However, with Kalari, it has been very special, and it has been like a huge blessing to learn from Lakshman Gurukal, uh, because the the way of training in Kalari, that happens in Kalari, connects me a lot with the martial roots, the actual martial roots of Chow.
Okay,
Like how, yes, how the Paikos in the olden times, how they used to train in the akaras with the weapons, especially. So the
right.
the weapons part is something which I am very much drawn to, and it's like one of the motivations also for taking up, for learning Kalaripayat, because we basically have the same weapons in Cho that in Kalari. Okay,
Right.
the
Right.
expression is a little bit different, but many of the movements will be similar. Why? Because they have a martial, they come from that martial aspect.
Right. Right.
uh, yeah. And
So,
the martial tradition for me is very important. So we have like certain similar traditions that they follow in Kalari, which I am very much interested in incorporating into my Cho practice and basically my daily practice. So there is a connection there, which doesn't go off or doesn't take me out of my path. It just gives me like a parallel kind of dimension to it. and
right.
uh, and what you asked about what it gives to my body, it actually gives me something complementary, which is very interesting, because in Chow and in Odissi, all the time we are working like this, like turn out, or
Feet, yeah.
knees outside, feet outside. But in Kalari, it's a line. So
Okay.
yeah, so it actually helps kind of relieve some of my muscles, some of my,
Right.
like the knees. It has strengthened my knees, my back. Yeah, it has given me also more strength to my arms, to my shoulders. So that has been like a plus point. That and more center, like the
The
core
core.
work. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that
Amazing.
has been really interesting.
Very amazing, because I'm asking you these questions because most of the dancers or the dance enthusiasts or the students, they do not realize how much of the muscles and the nerves that react and act according to your posture and according to your dance and also according to your emotions, you know.
Right.
So these are all are interconnected, and somewhere the dance has become a source of entertainment and not of body realization, whether thin or fat. Like I have weight around me, but I understand my muscles and nerves very well when I'm dancing. So it is very important to understand your body and your muscles while you're dancing, and just not take dance as a entertainment act.
Right.
Being in India, do you think our fraternity has not accepted Chow completely? There's so much of Kathak, Bharatanatyam, Odissi, or Kuchipudi, or anything that Chow still needs to get that complete acceptance.
Yeah, yes, I do. I mean, not in the negative way, but of course, I mean, first of all, Cho has not been declared as a classical
Classical,
form.
yes,
So,
yes, still
so,
the
it-
fight
so
is
it,
on.
yeah, so in that way, well, many of the maybe organizers of festivals, they don't, they don't count on us. They don't
Right,
consider us for this. So of
right.
course that is a lacking point. And then sometimes I feel that not everybody or not many people have a very accurate vision of what Mayurban Chhau is and can be. Like those are two things which are, in my point of view, they are very much misunderstood. Like many people still see Chhau dance as a folk dance. And yes, of course, it's true that if you go to Baripada and if you see the festival, there are many things which you will say, yes, yes, this is a folk dance. Okay, not not demeaning the folk dance, but yeah, it's like a cultural, very rural kind of folk dance. Okay, however, at the same time, you can see in that same context many things which you say, wow, this dance has so many possibilities that you cannot say it is a folk dance. You just can't say it is a folk dance. And Guruji has had that vision for a very long time. Like Guruji is like, I don't know how many years ahead of his time. And his wish also has been to experiment and to show how we can use Mayurban Chow in a classical way, or to portray things with a classical look, with a more refined look. So I mean, I just really feel so lucky that he is my guru because of that, because he's giving that different scope to the dance. And yes, in that way, I mean, I would really love to invite people to get to know that there is a way in which in Mayurban show we use abhinaya, we use the different rasa or bhav, we express that, we can interpret a shloka. It's not an aerobics dance, it's not just palta and this and jumping and like a monkey kind of. No, it's also not a filler dance. It's a proper art form that has so much to be explored, to be developed, and to go basically further into the tradition and to, yeah, it's so rich.
The way you're working hard with Guruji and Rajesh and Rakesh Sai Babu, then you are there. I'm sure this dream will come true, that it will be considered one of the classical art styles of India. Uh, Look, I know that you are coming from a different country, but do you think nepotism, lobbying, and casting couch has affected you, or it is there? Because I believe it is there, and how you deal with it. Has it ever affected you? Have you ever faced anything of like this? And
Sorry, which with you mentioned three
nepotism,
things.
Nepotism.
Nepotism. Huh.
Nepotism. Nepotism
Meaning
is
what?
means only giving stage to your own people, the daughters and the
Okay.
sons,
Right, right, right.
promoting your
Okay.
daughters and sons, and like
Right,
the one which who don't come from the family are outcasted or are
right, right.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Nepotism is one problem. Second problem is casting couch, which is very much in news these days. Okay. And the third one is, um, I said, lobbying. There's a groupism in the field. Do you think you have faced anything of like this? And Vishal Krishna of Kathak says, hello, hello. She's a fabulous dancer. I worked with her long
Long
back.
back.
Yes,
Long back.
yes. So, hello. He's the one who made me do the further on of the Oops because the first episode, first season that I did, it was with girlfriends. So, all my girlfriends were there,
Ah,
and we did like not to be in the proper Indian attire. We said we wanted to show the other side of the
oh,
ourselves. So then he was the one said, Didi, you are not doing with only you're doing with girlfriends. What about boyfriends? I said, I don't have boyfriends. I am there. Do it with me. I said, okay. So he's the dominator of the second series where I said, let the men talk. And even Ini was there. That is a very good information. I haven't seen much of Abhinay part of it since I have also not photographed it much. But definitely, this is a great insight into it. Thank you, Ini.
thank
Amazing.
you.
These shows are that's why these shows are important because sometimes
Yeah,
on the stage you miss out on the intricacies or you don't get the opportunity to talk to the artist and the
right.
artist has a lot to say and lot to share. Shashank Srivastava said, also, I would like to know your views on of same thing. Nepotism, casting couch, or bane for any art form such as it is everywhere, Shashank. It is how you deal with it. It's not that we have not faced it, we have faced it rightfully. And it is how a woman or a man, I'm not saying it is only that a woman faces it, it's a woman and how a man deals with it. That depends how you take it forward. If your expectations are too high and you want things in a quick way, then you will definitely fall into the problem of casting couch. If you know how to keep your expectations on control, and if you believe that your time will come and hard work doesn't go waste, as we say, uh, किस्मत से ज्यादा और वक्त से पहले कुछ नहीं मिलता. If you know how to keep patience, I think you can save yourself from the depression or frustration of casting couch, lobbying, and of nepotism. But it is on the artist, personal take on the artist. What is the Lakshman Rekha that they are drawing for themselves? So, what is your call on it, Carolina?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. First of all, I have to say that what you just said is just on the dot. I mean, because I believe that you I whenever I get frustrated because okay, I'm not I feel like I'm not being considered. I feel like nothing is coming. I tell myself, okay, you just keep working hard and your work will speak for itself.
Right,
um yeah. So but then again, of course, I mean, then again, I do feel that there is a little bit of exclusion. Maybe not only because I don't come from a family, because I'm not Indian, and on top of that, because I'm not a male. India Chow dance is a male art form mostly. And so when people maybe sometimes think of, okay, we need Chow dancers, of course they think of a group of boys. Okay.
yes.
So yeah, sometimes for me it's very frustrating because I would like to be there. Um, So, but in that regard, I just have to say that it's basically just planting the seed that, and getting people to know that, okay, yeah, it's not only about that. Cho is not only a male form. We are also here. We can perform. We do portray male roles. I mean, that has been my ambition also, to, yeah, to be able to represent the form in its totality, not only as a female character. Okay, that I can also do like the male part. Now, about lobbying, I'm very bad at it. I'm really bad at it. And so I try to keep my good relations with the people, and I try to give my respect as much as I can to them, because of course, I mean, in the classical field there are so many great people, and so many people who've done so many things, especially like, for example, you have this initiative, and this is your way of contributing and giving us artists the platform to talk about our issues and our things in an open way. So also thank you for that, and thank you to so many people who have also given me the chance of performing. um, but yeah, it's difficult because I'm not used to that, keeping in touch sometimes and letting people know, okay, I'm there, which
No,
I know I.
but I must say, Carolina, you've done very well. And in fact, you doing a chow has inspired many, many girls to take up the dance style. So it is
That's wonderful.
amazing work you are doing, and it's an amazing contribution to the art style, and it's an amazing contribution to the country, and your surrender to your guru. I think it's the way you're taking name of your gurus. There are many students, there are many dancers. They don't want to name their gurus, but the way you are giving respect and giving respect to your gurus, it's amazing. And I think at the right time you have arrived, Carolina, and at the right time I think there's more to happen to you. So just a little more patience. And as Vishal Krishna says, when I met her first time, she was so focused on practice. She's still focused on practice. Catch her up. And Aparajita says, true, so true. I think that's all about the nepotism and how you're supposed to take care. Very well said, Alaknanda Kathak ji. Manish says that. Vishal Krishna says, right, said Didi. Yes. And from Assam, we have Rinjumani Sakya. Oh, and we have Rakesh Sai Babu saying,
Oh.
all the best, Carolina. Rakesh, I don't know if you joined earlier. We were just talking about you and Rajesh and how much fun that you all three had. I remember she was Holika and he was
Yes,
Prahlad.
yes,
Very
yes, yes.
well, very well, very well. He has an immense good memory power. Shashank Srivastava, thank you for clarifying. True, we definitely meet all sorts of people in all walks of life, and we have to draw the line ourselves. Absolutely, Shashankji. This is one life we have, and we have to decide how we want to live it, whether we want to fall into that trap of nepotism or lobbying or casting couch, or we have the ability to say no and
No,
stay away and take
right,
our
right.
own time. So it's your life, draw the line. And yes, you have inspired so many girls. Vishal Krishna says, absolutely, Carolina. You have inspired so many girls to take up chow as dance style. And I think you, Rakesh, and Rajesh, the way you people have been teaching in the schools also, you have introduced the style to the younger generation, and that's very important. We need to give the younger generation our culture, and you're taking your dance style as teaching to the schools, I think has been amazing. Carolina, a lot of serious talking, but tell me your fan moment. Tell me your fan moment, like some fan has done something crazy after seeing your performance, or has written a love letter to you, or has proposed to you, and you felt, okay, this is the craziest moment that I've lived because of dance.
Hmm. That's a tough one.
And
Uh,
must be
I guess.
sure, if I would have been a man, I would have definitely proposed to you. So don't tell me that you haven't had that kind of, men coming up to you and getting, falling to
Uh,
your feet or giving you
no,
some red roses.
not really. You know what has happened? What has happened several times, and especially when I've performed in not in cities so much, like maybe in
Right.
festivals, for example, in Assam, in oh, what was it? Oh, there's this place where I forgot the name. This place near the Narmada River.
Okay.
Okay. Um, like
What
after,
happened?
uh, like I, because usually I finish my repertoire. Usually the last dance that I do is Natraj. So
Right.
I finish in Shivji costume. So what has happened is basically just people just come and they're like pranam, pranam.
Yeah, in these small towns or villages, they're so religious and there's so much to God. So
Yeah.
if you're in that attire, and I think you do Natraj very well. That whole piece is very into you. It has gone inside you, so into your soul. So I'm sure they must be thinking कि शिवजी आ गए हैं ऊपर से, शिवजी आ गए हैं, और इन्हीं औरत में, इन्हीं देवी में वो घुस गए हैं, और इनको अब प्रणाम.
Yeah, that has been a bit funny. That has been quite
Yeah, I,
quite
I,
funny.
I can very well understand. But this will not happen in cities, but yes, in the small towns or villages, they must be thinking, यही देवी शिव है. आज शिव जी के अंदर है. So how much Hindi do you understand, Carolina?
I don't know. Sometimes I understand everything or a lot, and then sometimes I don't understand anything. It's yeah, yeah, it's
So I hope
yeah,
you understood
it's
what I
funny.
said.
Yes, I did. That I understood everything. No, no, like I mean, of course I understand most many things. But yeah, sometimes somehow many words I can't remember or I don't. But yeah.
Yeah, come here and understand. She said, yes, she comes alive in Natraj program from here too. Oh my God, Aprajita, you carry something. Okay, so some rapid fires. Okay, Carolina, your favorite color. First,
Red.
your favorite perfume.
Oof. Sandal.
Okay, your favorite cuisine.
Palak paneer.
Oh, really? Okay,
No, no, I don't know if really, but that kind of okay. No, lobster. I'll say lobster. Yeah.
lobster. Yeah, so here we match. Your favorite destination for holiday in India.
Uh, okay, Goa.
Oh, bingo. Your favorite destination for vacation abroad.
Abroad. Oh my. See, as you can see, I don't have many holiday destinations.
But you dream to go
Uh,
there. You dream to go there.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So which one?
Okay, that I dream. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ah.
Italy, France,
Oh my
Switzerland,
god! Oh my god! Okay, no, no, no,
Hungary,
none of them.
Poland,
No.
Spain.
Uh, okay, I'll just say Cartagena. Cartagena is a place in Colombia.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
homebound again. Okay, who's your favorite actor? Bollywood.
Oh, oh my God, I don't know the name. I can't remember the name. He was in Padmavati, not the bad one, but the king one.
Shahid Kapoor. Shahid Kapoor. Ask
Yes,
me. Ask me.
yes, yes.
Hollywood. 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 Actor.
Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt.
Okay. Okay. And actress in Bollywood.
Actress in Bollywood. Don't really like. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Kangana Ranaut.
Ganaro. Oh, I
Yeah.
must say. And actress in Hollywood.
In Hollywood, oh, that's a hard one. Oh my God, no, don't really have a favorite one.
In
Mm,
Hollywood. Okay.
yeah, no.
Your song for your life. A song which you like to hum whenever you're free or whenever you feel good, and you know,
Okay, it's a Spanish song. It's a song in Spanish.
please sing it.
It's it's
Sing.
called. Okay. Cuando el amor es amor, es amor, es amor, es amor. Cuando el amor es amor, es amor, es amor, es amor. Somos dos, somos dos, somos dos. Somos dos, somos dos, somos dos. Ay, amor, ay, mi amor, ay, mi amor, ay, mi amor, ay, mi amor. That's it.
I can imagine Shakira. I can
Something like
imagine
that.
Shakira in this, you know. Absolutely. Okay. How would you like a man to propose to you? I don't know if you have a man in your life, like a boyfriend or a husband or a partner, but how would you like a man to propose to you, and what is your favorite drink? Excuse me?
Oh
If
my
she's
God.
single, then you ought to know how she likes to be proposed. And if she has a partner, then the partner needs to know how she likes to be proposed. And what's your favorite drink?
Okay, favorite
Yes.
drink. By favorite drink, you mean alcoholic?
Yeah, don't tell me water, okay, and fruity. I will not take that.
No, I actually don't drink.
Yeah, but if I
Yeah,
take you for a party, then what would you like to have?
no, I don't drink. Um, okay, I don't drink, but I'll tell you one small secret. I like the
Yeah.
taste. I like the taste of beer. Only the
Okay.
taste. I
Okay.
don't I don't have it. I don't have it because somehow I don't know. Whenever I take, I mean, if I take one full beer, like my stomach basically can't take it. But
Okay.
but I like the taste. So I just take a sip, one small sip of beer, and that's it. I'm good.
Good. So if you take me for a date, I would like you to treat me with red wine.
Red wine. Okay.
And Manish Seth is very inquisitive, and he says, if proposed by an Indian, so how would you like it to be proposed? And I think Aparajita says makes us too because she also doesn't drink. So okay, but I love my spirits. I love all my spirits in dance, in life, in drinks, everywhere. So how would you like to be proposed?
I don't think I can answer this. I'm not very
Beachside,
romantic in that way.
hill
Uh,
station, candlelight dinner. Look, I'm giving you so many options.
okay, fine. No, I don't know. I'm not. Okay, fine. Maybe a candlelight dinner. Not. I'm not that romantic in that way. I'm not.
When the right person comes, you will be. Or please tell the right person to do it rightly. It was amazing, Carolina, talking to you. But tell me, what is that dream that you still have to realize?
Writing a book. It's not only my dream. It's me, like Guruji, and my dream. And yeah, that is something that that is there, and hopefully I'll be able to, hopefully I can come across with it. Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. Carolina, you have come across so many oceans and so many skies and horizons to be with your passion of dance and to accept another culture with your soul and heart. This is something amazing, and this needs a lot of strength and power which you have within yourself. Thank you so much for being a part of this show, Oops, and sharing your life and your journey and your little inner self, which is so very innocent, with all of us, with me, and with all the audience which are there. Thank you for being a part of the Oops, and I wish you a lot of love, a lot of strength, and I wish you that your dreams do come true and you keep on inspiring more and more people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alaknanda ji. It's been a treat, like your questions and how you conduct the program. It's very refreshing, very interesting, and I mean, I'm really honored to have been here, and to everybody who has been watching. Thank you so much. Yeah, like so many people who have with whom I've also come across, and it's great. I mean, to see your comments. Thank you for all your support. That is amazing. Um, I feel also very touched because of that. So thank you so much for watching, for having me here, and great. I mean, carry on with this. This is a like not to miss show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This show is special because all you artists are very special, and definitely it's a voice for the artists to say what they want to say and also make a better space for the artists who are here and for the artists who are coming in future and to leave a better world for the generation next. And after this show, I will share you the number of Aprajita Dasgupta, and also I will share your number with Aprajita Dasgupta. She has been the most consistent uh, audience for today's show, which she has not been so much in my earlier shows. But today she has been very consistently being there and being visible also. So I will definitely share her phone number with you and your phone
Sure,
number, cell number with her, so that
sure,
fans and audience should always be together and be in sync, because both of them need each other. The artist needs the fan and the fan needs the artist. I think that's amazing journey together. And with that, we come to the end of today's show. And it was amazing talking to Carolina Prada and knowing her journey, her struggles, and her spicy life. And but yes, tomorrow is again the blast of the weekend. How can we forget that? And that is bringing up the young talents of today or of tomorrow's, because it is very important to make way and make path for the young talents who have taken up our culture and dance so seriously. So tomorrow we are going to listen to some 20s something who are pursuing their passion against, swimming against the tide, keeping another profession, and yet having a passion for dance and art. तो कल भी 7 बजे भूलिएगा मत, यहीं पे फेसबुक पे। पर कोविड नहीं गया है तो wear your mask, wash your hands, sanitize your hands, and keep a distance. But love people around you and make good situations for everybody. Pray and sleep, and कल फिर मिलते हैं. Bye, Carolyn.
bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you, bye.
And I'll finish off with that song again for S.P. Balasubramaniam, and I would say, साथिया ये तूने क्या किया, बेलिया ये तूने क्या किया, मैंने किया तुमसे इंतजार, मुझसे करो ना इतना प्यार. Love you all, remembering all the legends, remembering S.P. Balasubramaniam, and may his soul rest in peace. Thank you. Bye bye. Namaskar. शबा खैर, कल फिर मिलते हैं।